How's it going, guys? It is me, Official Ghostly Gamer, and welcome back to another banger! Again, I know I haven't uploaded in like a month and a half, or maybe more, but I don't care. We're back here. We're with my friend, GaaraOfTheSand. Say what's up.
What's up, guys?
Alright, now today, what our video is going to be pretty straightforward. So obviously, if you're not aware, the 2010s decade just came to an end. And there were there was 9, 10 total drafts or something like that in the decade. So today we're going to be going over every top 5 pick, and we are going to give them a letter grade from A through F. Yep. So let's get it straight up. Let's start right now. Let's get right into it. First pick, 2010 draft. That's what we're starting with. John Wall. The good old Jonathan Wall. We're starting off with John Wall. So what are we gonna?
Want me to talk about it, or are you gonna start off?
Oh, we can both go on it. We can both top on everything. I'll cut that out, by the way. So honestly, I'm gonna give John Wall a solid A, because I know that there were a lot of really good players in that draft. But John Wall definitely was one of the more of the players that stood out. He's had amazing seasons, many 20 points per game in a season, and he's been selected to an All-Star game. I don't know how many times, so I'll have to give him a good A.
Yeah, I agree. John Wall is definitely a nice talent. It sucks that he got plagued with injury because it's held him back a lot. But he's definitely deserved that #1 spot for the people in the draft.
Yeah.
Maybe if DeMarcus Cousins had a shot over him, I think he was in this draft. I can't remember, but I think that John Wall going #1 for this one was definitely an A plus for the Wizards. They were the one who drafted him, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
He stayed loyal to the soil. Still on the Wizards after 9 seasons, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mess that up all the time. So the second pick is Evan Turner, and if I'm being nice, I'm gonna give him a C.
Honestly, I'd probably give him lower than that because Evan Turner, to be a #2 pick, has done almost nothing in the league.
That's true.
I don't even know what team he's playing on. He's playing for the
Is he playing for Atlanta right now?
No, he's playing for the Timberwolves, right?
Yeah, some weird team like that.
He really hasn't done much. His stats, he's only averaging 3 points this season, shooting 37 from the field, doesn't even take threes, and I don't think he's played that many games. He's not very what do you call it? Prevalent player, so I'd definitely say he's not up there. Doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
I'd rank him F to D.
All right, well, so I'm personally going to give him a C because in his early years, after he was drafted by Philly, if we're being completely honest, that Philadelphia team, that was the year they had 9 or 10 wins or something like that. But Evan Turner averaged 17 points per game and I think 6 rebounds or assists per game. So that's why the only reason I'm going to give him credit, because in the first couple seasons of his career, he was actually fairly decent. But the moment he got traded to a somewhat decent team, his stats dropped faster than the Warriors did. All right. Number 3, Derek Favors. I'll let you give off the first ranking.
Derek Favors, I don't really, for this one, I don't really know too much about him, but he definitely, if I'm going to give him a ranking for being #3, he doesn't really seem to, pan out too well, but I might rank him, I'd probably give him a C, just an average, because he's still in the league, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
But, he's averaging 10 points rounded up. He gets a good 24 minutes in a game. So, I mean, he does his 3-point percentage is kind of bad this year, but he's doing okay. I just don't feel that he should have been drafted #3. So,
Yeah.
Or #4. Or is it #3?
No, it was #3. It was #3.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think he's...
Yeah, and my personal opinion, average player gets an average number. He was with the Jazz for forever, and now he's on the Pelicans or something like that. But every year he's just put up I feel like he's just put up the most average numbers. So I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to give him a C as well. But I'm going to give him like a C plus. I think he's better than Evan Turner, but he's nothing special like John Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Right, coming in at number 4, Wesley Johnson, aka the dude that got crossed up
Let's
by
talk about
James
James
Harden
Harden.
into next year. I am going to give him an F.
Yeah, easy F for this dude. He's not even good at all. Like, he plays for the Clippers, but I'm pretty sure he's like not even. He's not even in the league right now.
Practice
He's playing
player,
for the.
practice squad.
Yeah, he's playing in the um Greek league or something like that.
Yeah,
Panathinaikos BC. So the only way people know him is by a James Harden cross up. So at least he made his mark somehow.
yeah. I mean, the only highlight I've ever seen of Wesley Johnson is him getting crossed up by James Harden.
Yeah.
Also, this might be so long, we might have to make a part 2 of this, by the way, guys, just to let you guys know. So if we record part 1 next week, we might record part 2, or we might record both parts this week and upload one this week and part 2 the second week. I don't know. So for
That's
number
what I was feeling like about the making it a top 5 for me, because I know talking about this stuff can go long. So
yeah.
yeah, we will be having a video from about me too.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
keep
Make
going.
sure there is going to be a video on Aki's channel, so I will leave his link in the description. I will leave the video link in the description once it's up, so you guys can go check that out. But I'll probably say that again at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 5, we have the ring chaser who failed, DeMarcus Cousins. Someone who tried to get that ring but couldn't.
Well, for DeMarcus Cousins, I'm gonna actually give him a nice A+ type thing.
Yeah, I would give him an A too.
He's definitely he for a lot of the 2010 he was easily the best center in the league until like Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, etc. started coming into the league. But DeMarcus Cousins, before he was played with so many injuries and
Yeah.
whatnot,
We went out like John Wall.
yeah, he was definitely the best, or definitely a good player for Sacramento. Like, Sacramento had so many bad picks within the 2010s, and this was one of the rare good ones. So we're gonna give him a nice A for that one because he helped the team out quite a bit.
I mean, I can't disagree with you. I think DeMarcus Cousins is a phenomenal player. Even when he went to a somewhat good team, the Pelicans with Anthony Davis, he was still putting up good numbers, and he was an All-Star that year. So, honestly, no
Just hate to
complaints.
see that he's injured. That's all.
Yeah. All right, so we are moving on to the 2011 draft. There were so many good picks in 2010 too, like Paul George came out of that draft, and some other people. Isaiah Thomas.
Kawhi Leonard was
No.
Kawhi Leonard in the 2011 draft.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard was in the 2011. So,
Yeah.
with pick number 1, we have drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, definitely. I'll let you say.
Yeah.
For that one.
For sure, an A, I would say so. Kyrie, the only thing he's really missing is just that ability to lead a team. Like you saw what happened to the Celtics. Kyrie gets injured. Terry Rozier, leads that team to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have basically the same thing coming into next year, the exact same team, except with Gordon Hayward now. And the Bucks kind of just handed the L to him before the games even started. So if that's what it says about his leadership, but when he was with LeBron with the Cavs, even still now with the Celtics and the Nets, he's still an extremely talented player. But I'd say he was like LeBron's student, but he never really got to learn LeBron's leadership, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely an A for him because he was the best player out of this draft, but he just doesn't really have the leadership skills. That's about it. For the most part, his game's pretty complete. He has the best handles out of everyone in the league. So he has that stuff down, but still can't lead a team. So that's his biggest problem.
Yep, for sure. All right, so pick number 2 is Derek Williams. I think this is a pretty easy thing to cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a easy F for this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Derek Williams is a relevant player. Really hasn't done much.
Yeah, I've never seen a single highlight from him as I know. And actually, I've never heard of this man until we made this video. So,
Mhm. Yeah, he only was on the 2011 to 12 All Rookie team, and I guess that's the only thing you got from him. He
mm.
was in the league. Don't even know if he's still in the league as of now. So that's really all we got. Derek
Oh no, he's
Williams.
not actually. He's in the EuroLeague somewhere.
Yeah, so he's really not the best player.
Yeah, I believe he's actually out of the EuroLeague and trying to get signed. I believe he's a free agent as of right now.
Yeah, he might be.
All right. So
Okay.
with pick number 3, we have Enes Kanter. I am going to give
Oh,
him a B.
yeah. I think a B, B minus. I
Yeah, I
mean,
would
that
say
was a
B minus too.
nice even score for him because in this cancer, he's very well known mainly because of like
Turkey.
um controversies with Turkey
Yeah.
and whatnot. But he can be a funny guy, and he's not been terrible in the league. He somewhat good defensively, and he does what he's supposed to do for his team basically. So
Yeah.
he's a good fit. And as of
Well,
that draft, he really the only reason I give him a C and not a B is really because to be a number 3 pick, we expect a lot out of him. So
mm,
maybe if he was like lower lottery, that'd probably be like a nice A for him. But just his placement probably gives him the B. Is what
mhm.
I'm saying.
Yeah, like the thing is that I'm gonna have to disagree with you because from what I've heard, like from anyone who asked me about, like who talks about Enes Kanter, that he's actually a really terrible defender. I don't know if that's still true
Mm.
or not, but and I don't know if even that is true. I don't know if
Mm.
those people were salty, but I mean Enes
Mm-hmm.
Kanter, it's not like he was ever considered a bad player. He just he does what he's supposed to on his team. But I feel
Yeah.
like he's kind of just like Derek Favors. Like he could have done, like considering the fact they're both number 3 draft picks, just playing average. You want something a lot more, especially like having such a crazy thing like a top 5 pick.
Yeah, definitely get what you're saying there.
Mm. So pick number 4, good old cheated on a Kardashian, Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, Tristan Thompson.
I honestly am gonna give him the
He,
same grade as Cantor, B minus.
yeah. I'd probably go ahead even say yeah, B minus probably fits him best because he did end up getting a ring, I believe, because he played with LeBron James.
Mm.
So that's really his only accolade.
Well, that was
But
definitely not Tristan's team. I don't even know. Like,
uh,
I don't think Tristan put up anything in those games.
yeah, it definitely wasn't his team. But like he's averaging 11 points this season, so he's not doing awful. But career wise, the average is only 10, and really, there's really not much about him. Besides, he won a championship in 2015 to 16, and then was in the 2011 and 12 All Rookie team. So, and he got to date a Kardashian, of course. So, like, he did great. But,
Respect,
and we all have that one clip of him trying to dribble the ball.
dude. That was the
And,
dribble the ball, just break to the 3-pointers so hard. This man was a James Harden wannabe.
yeah, but that's basically a B minus for Tristan Thomas.
All right, yes. So, with the last pick, well, not the last pick, but the 5th pick in the 2011 draft, we have Jonas Valanciunas.
Yep.
Which
Um,
honestly, I'm gonna give him a B. I think he definitely wasn't a terrible player. So
yeah, I definitely give him a nice high B because he's number 5. He's really doing what he's supposed to, playing for the Grizzlies and actually doing pretty good for himself. Nice 15 and 10 for his stats this season, and he's just really not too bad of a player. If I'm gonna be honest, he's
mhm.
definitely was one of the better picks out of this top 5 because the number 2 and 3 both suck, but like or not 3. I'm getting confused, but you understand that Jonas, I think he wasn't a terrible player
Yeah.
for them. So
I
I
mean,
think it's safe to say,
he had a slow start with the Raptors because I remember he got injured a lot when he played for them, and he was kind of just like that third option to Lowry and DeRozan. So
mm-hmm. Now he's in Memphis and he's doing a lot better for himself.
yeah,
So that's always good.
yeah. The Memphis Grizzlies are surprising me this year, 8th seed.
Yeah, they're a perfect 500 team as of now.
Yeah,
So
so
an 8th seed. So respect that.
oh yeah. All right, so moving on to 2012, the first pick is AD for the
Uh,
Pelicans, and now for the Lakers.
yep.
That's a big
Easily A
A,
plus
big
for
A.
this.
Yeah, A.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony Davis is one of the greatest big men we've ever seen. His footwork is something like Hakeem Olajuwon's almost, and
Hmm.
he's definitely a very good player. And it sucked that he wasted a little bit of his career in New Orleans because he could have been doing so much more. It's like look at what he's doing with the Lakers. They're basically championship bound, and if he had a better situation, he would be in bigger talks than he is now. But it's definitely easy A because the Pelicans are choosing him. Definitely a good idea for them. So easy as.
Yeah. What the? My phone just turned on for some reason.
Are you
So,
still?
oh my gosh, it's copyrighted music. Hold up.
Yeah, sorry, these my brothers keep walking in, making a little noise.
Trying to figure out what it is. All right, there we go. We Gucci now.
Okay.
Um. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, he's definitely one of the better centers of the 2010s decade. He did his job for he did his job for New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans didn't give him a lot of options there, but like just like how
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins did, he made the most of it. Led the Pelicans to the playoffs. So honestly, no complaints from
Mm-hmm.
AD.
For sure.
All right, for the number 2 pick, someone who's not as much known, but a lot of people know him for his whack jump shot, Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
Yeah. So you can start off on this one.
Well, I mean, MKG, I'm gonna give him a solid C for this one because I don't think I'm gonna move down to the D plus to give us our first D here. Is that MKG, coming from a number 2 pick, especially like now with Kemba Walker, he really didn't do a lot for his team, especially like when the Bobcats were as bad as they are. You think like he'd be like Evan Turner, for example, who was also the number 2 pick, but like he was popping off for the Philly when they were bad, but MGK literally couldn't do anything when Charlotte was bad. So to be honest, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to give him a
he
D.
meant MKG. He said MGK like Michigan. But yeah, definitely gonna give him a nice D. Would probably be the best place for him because as a number 2 pick, he sucked. Literally, just he sucked for the Hornets and really isn't doing much as of now either. Like he hasn't really shown any improvement. He's kind of just in the league because he's on a terrible team, the Hornets. So like even though the Hornets are starting to be a little better, but for the most part, he's really not that good. Only 4 points this season, 2/3 rebounds basically.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But yeah, he could be doing a lot better for himself as a 6'6" small forward/power forward. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd agree with you. D plus for him.
So another player, our third pick. Honestly, I think this player deserved an All-Star game. I mean, an All-Star appearance over a couple people who made the All-Star game, which is Bradley Beal. Which, for right now, I'm gonna give him an A minus. Bradley Beal.
I'd go all the way and just give him an A plus. Cause I don't really see what anything Bradley Beal's done besides he's been put in a terrible position. This dude is averaging almost 30 points a game, 6.3 assists, and is doing good stuff for himself, man. The only thing is he's been put in a bad situation. And if John Wall was healthy, they'd be a pretty good duo if we're gonna look at it like that. But he's definitely a good player, and I just yesterday he had a game winner and is just doing what he can. He's
Mm.
only a 2-time All Star, which should be a lot more if you're gonna ask me. But he's really done he's done what he can, and I think he's an easy A plus. Mind telling me why you think he's an A minus? Just because of
Okay,
injury.
so my main factor is that he did have like a really slow start to his career, and when he was when he was playing with John Wall, he was like kind of a nobody. But until John Wall got injured, that's why he's putting up so many points per game. Because if you think about it, yeah, he's putting up 30 points per game, but if you look at the other guards, it's like Isaiah Thomas, who's well past his prime, Ish Smith, who I'm sad that the Pistons got rid of him, but he's nothing special coming from a Pistons fan who loved him, so he's not that special. He was special for
Yeah,
Detroit though, but like Washington, he ain't
definitely
special.
see. Because he didn't start averaging 20 plus points until the 2016 to 2017
Oh, John Wall
season.
was healthy that season. Hold up. Well, I'm gonna
Hmm?
still give him an A minus though. I'll
Yeah.
still. I mean, I'm still giving him the A. All right. So number 4, he's kind of a funny pick, you know.
Hmm.
He so this person got high off of a plane or overdosed on a plane because of gummies, and that's Dion. And he also probably had one of the worst 2K15 acting ever. If you look at his voice acting in 2K15, but Dion gets high on gummies. Waiters.
Yes, this man is definitely not very good. He hasn't really done much. He's done that off court stuff, but Dion Waiters for the most of it really is a terrible pick. I'd probably grade him definitely just an F, straight up F, because I don't see anything really in him. As of this season, he's averaging 9.3 points, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds. Could be doing a lot better, but you know, that's just about it. He's not very good.
Yeah, so I feel different about Dion Waiters, and I'm gonna give him a solid C because before all this happened, like in his earlier seasons, like people don't understand that Dion Waiters wasn't actually that bad in his earlier seasons.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, he if you look at some of the like, I don't have the stats on me right now, but he was definitely he wasn't terrible in his like last couple. I mean, his like first seasons, and he was honestly fine with the Heat for the longest time until like the whole like this year and
Yeah.
last year where he started acting up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him. Yeah, I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna give him a C.
Okay, that's nice.
And then with the number 5 pick, I believe his name is Thomas Robinson. So
Yeah.
considering the fact I have no clue who this man is, I'm going to give him an F.
I'm giving him an F for one reason only. He
Yeah.
got drafted over Damian Lillard,
Yep.
and
Yep. I saw that too.
yeah, literally one of the one he's going off right now as of this season, and he's doing his best to get his team to the playoffs after a rough start. But this dude, the nobody, getting drafted over Damian Lillard is injustice. So for that reason, he's an easy F, just a total F for me.
All right. You ready to move on to 2013?
Yeah.
All right. So then, in the 2013 draft, it's a pretty infamous draft. For
Yeah.
having the greatest player to ever touch a basketball with the first pick in the NBA draft, Anthony Bennett, A plus plus plus. Absolutely amazing.
Anthony Bennett, one of the greatest players we've come to see. He's done
Beat
so much for the league and
uh,
really on the level of somebody like LeBron James. I don't think there's any question. So good number for me.
could easily take on Michael Jordan and LeBron James at the same time. All
Yeah,
right.
definitely great brother. And for the number 2 pick,
Visitoire Oladipo.
yeah, we had Victor Oladipo.
You know what? I low key really like Victor Oladipo, so I'm gonna give him an A.
Yeah, he's an easy A for me. Victor's a very chill dude. He's a good player for me.
Made videos with Two
Especially
Hype.
since he grew a lot. Became a much better player. I'm proud of that from him. Um, he did recently just start coming back and is only averaging 10 points, but he's getting there. He's getting back to what he's doing, but he's definitely not awful. Victor Oladipo just
Yeah, they're giving him limited minutes right now.
I like him though. He's a good player. I give him that. I give him that.
Yeah. I mean, Victor Oladipo definitely had a slow start, considering the fact he didn't really do much with the Magic. He got traded to OKC and really didn't do anything there. He was just one of the people who was on Russ MVP's season team. But ever since he's been traded to Indiana, he couldn't do anything better. And it was sad to see him get such a big injury because he was like such a good player at that
Yeah,
time.
he
And
was on such a good run, and when he got the injury too, could have helped them in the playoffs.
oh yeah, the Pacers were the third seed at the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope he comes back to his amazing like work. Hope he comes back to having an amazing like career, and I hope he makes a full and successful recovery.
I hope he helps them in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Dudes, Kahinde Babatunde Victor Oladipo. That's his full name for anybody who's wondering.
Oh, wow.
Nobody asked, but okay.
All right. So with the number 3 pick, we have out of the Washington Wizards, Otto Porter, and I'm going to give him a C. or C minus.
I'd probably give him a G, C minus as well. Definitely just an average player who got drafted way too high, and mainly just he's really hasn't shown up. Playing for the Bulls this year, and he's not doing terrible for himself.
Mm.
He's played 9 games this season, but averaging 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. It's not awful, but definitely isn't very good either. So, going to just say that. And he was doing much better last year, averaging 17. So he's gone down, which is never good. So I'd just give him that. I'd give him around what you said too. So
Yeah. Honestly, like, he was actually not that terrible with the Wizards. He was a good role player for them, but I haven't really heard much from him recently, so that's why I'm going to give him the C minus.
for sure.
All right. Number 4, drafted by the Charlotte Bobcats.
Yeah.
So he got sent to the HE double hockey stick hell when he got drafted. Cody Zeller,
Kind of.
D.
Yeah, just definitely a D. Below average player again, getting drafted too high.
Mm.
Cody Zeller, he really isn't doing much. He's averaging 11 points this season, which is okay, I guess. But he just I expect a little more, I guess. Because
Yeah.
getting drafted number 4, you don't shouldn't be doing this.
I mean,
The
to
top
get.
five,
Oh,
like if every top 5 pick was ideal, we should be seeing all of them as good, like all stars to superstars, or maybe below all stars to below superstars type level. And when that doesn't really happen, it's either they're a bust or they're just really not that good and just got drafted too high
yeah,
sometimes.
for
So
sure.
that's really what that D ranking means to me sometimes. So that's what I give Cody Zeller.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about him. I mean, he used to start for the Hornets, but, I mean, they didn't have any other centers to
Mm-hmm.
put him at. And with number 5, Alex Len, I'll start this off. I'm going to give him a C. He was terrible for the first, like, 6 years of his career, but the last time I checked, he was actually doing pretty good on Atlanta. I don't know if it's still the same this year, but, I mean, I'm going to give him a C. I'll probably give him a D because he's only had one good year.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Len, I have heard of him before, so he's not like he's completely irrelevant,
Well,
but
he plays. Yeah, I know that he plays for Atlanta, and he actually had a pretty good season last year.
he could be doing a little better for himself because he doesn't have any accolades, and is only averaging 8 points as of now. But for the most part, he's not awful. He's played almost all the games this season, which is a plus. So he's not terrible, I guess, is what I'm saying. I give him the same as what you said.
Mm. And honorable mention for the 2013 NBA draft. Um, so there was a player by the name of Shabazz Muhammad. You don't know him? Well, yeah, so do I. I have no clue who he is. But he was drafted right before this other foreign player by the name of, I think, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, none of them are better than the GOAT, Anthony Bennett, but, you know.
Yeah, he likes to say that. Mm.
But, yeah, that's just an honorable mention.
Yeah.
That,
Okay.
all right. The top 5 picks of the 2014 NBA draft. Number 1, do you mind if I start this, by the way? If you mind if I kick off number 1?
No problem.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
So, Andrew Wiggins. And I am going to give Andrew Wiggins, this may sound crazy, but I'm going to give Andrew Wiggins an A minus, and here's why. So, if you guys aren't aware about the backstory of Anthony Wiggins, he was drafted by the Cavaliers in that age between LeBron leaving and LeBron coming back. And as you can clearly see by the 2010s decade, Cleveland needs LeBron to survive. So, we don't have to talk about that, but it is facts. But Anthony Wiggins, I believe before he played a single game with the Cavaliers, he was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Kevin Love trade. And the reason I'm going to put him at an A minus is that because 1, he won Rookie of the Year. 2, I think too many people sleep on him. He's having an amazing year this year. He had an amazing year last year, and he had an amazing year before that. So I think everyone sleeps on Andrew Wiggins, and I think his stats are definitely going to go down. But I think yeah, next year his stats are probably going to go down. But I like him on the Warriors because the thing that the Warriors need is that they need another forward who can like score often. Because if you really think about it, Draymond Green can't really score as much as he used
Yeah.
to. So to have
hmm
another forward on the Warriors, I think Wiggins is going to be a good fit.
Yeah, I definitely. I was thinking B plus, but there's really not much difference between B plus and A minus.
Yeah,
So like, Andrew Wiggins definitely. Of course, everyone always says he's a disappointment, but the real thing was only his shooting number. If we looked at his bare points, he really was never that bad,
yeah, he had
honestly.
multiple 20 points
Um,
per game seasons.
yeah. If we look at this year at around the beginning, he could have he was having thoughts of being MIP just because of we haven't seen something like this before him before. And
Mm.
although he slowed down throughout the season, he's still averaging 22 points this the game. So like, I definitely think that Andrew Wiggins is not a bust because if we use that criteria, Alonzo Ball is also a bust because he'd be underperforming points wise. But like, he really isn't that bad. So I definitely give him a nice B.
Mm.
So
Yeah, can't agree more. I mean, it's just I think that Andrew Wiggins has never been extremely terrible. I just think that so many people slept on him because when you play for a team like Minnesota, like for all those years after they lost Kevin Garnett, and even with Kevin Garnett they were terrible. With Kevin Love they were terrible, and Wiggins he first came to that team that was with no cat. So I mean,
yeah, he's by
to
himself.
yeah he
They
was
really wanted him to lead the team, but I don't think he's just that type of player.
Yeah, you
But
don't need a
not a
player like Andrew Wiggins to lead your team. He's just one of those players that you can always count on him to like get you big points.
yes.
All right, so with the
So
number 2 pick, we have Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker, I'd probably give him a nice B to. I would have said C if you asked me last year,
No,
but I'm
I
gonna
would.
give
Yeah,
him.
I'd give him a B too, Jabari
I
Parker.
give him a B this year simply because although his stats are somewhat empty on the Hawks because the way he scores really isn't the way they want him to, but he's averaging a nice 15 points this season, and at least he's not injured. Because I remember I watched the video, and it was like Jabari Parker and Andrew Wiggins were really like the two people the whole league were watching for when they were in college because they were both really good, and him ending up number two was actually like acceptable at the time of where it was, but it ended up where he is. That's probably why I give him a nice B or something. But he's improving, and that's what we want to see. And if he can continue to get better, that could definitely help him out. So, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, I mean, when he was with Milwaukee, he was like I wouldn't say a hit or miss, but I mean in games he was like a hit or miss, like
yeah,
but
and he did get injured a
yeah, and
lot
again like
back then.
those early year Milwaukee teams, except for like I mean only like between like late like early to late 2000 I mean early to mid 2000s to like when Giannis first started taking over, like the Bucks were never good, like they were never
Mm-hmm.
like out of the ordinary. So I mean when he was there, like there wasn't other because like Giannis wasn't that good back then. He didn't start
Mm-hmm.
going up till like his most improved player season and the season after that, and now his MVP season, and
Mm-hmm.
most likely his second back-to-back MVP season. So I mean Jabari Parker, I mean, yeah, there's. I think a B is just the best fit.
Yeah, definitely I agree.
All right,
Um,
number 3, the
uh,
dude who started out using Twitter had more hours on Twitter than him actually being on the court, but has turned his career around, which is going to give me an A for him, Joel Embiid.
yeah, Joel Embiid, I give him an A minus simply because as
Oof,
of now,
it's a
I
hot
feel
take.
he's yeah, okay, listen, there's the only reason I say this. He's soft. Like Charles Barkley couldn't have said it better himself. He said something around the lines that the 76ers have much talent, but they're also mentally soft. And we could just see yesterday, this dude Joel Embiid has 100 pounds and is 7 feet. He doesn't even try to jump when John Moran goes up because he's afraid of getting posted. Like, I get that you want your ego to stay intact, but to be a really good player, you gotta understand that there's some things you gotta take a risk of. Could have easily been a little better, and he doesn't like getting hurt. So I would have given him an A if I really didn't see from this season how soft he is. Only thing I respect him for is taking those threes because Ben Simmons won't. So
Yeah,
he's
I
good.
mean, he for sure. I mean, the reason I'm going to give Joel Embiid an A because he has made an All Star game and he has made an All NBA team, which not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
players have the ability to do. When
Very,
he
very
first
true.
came back, just out of, I remember. So this is actually in sixth grade, and I mean, I've been watching the NBA for a couple years now because I believe the first time I really started getting into the NBA was in
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry's first MVP season.
2015, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was like 14 to 15 because I watched
Yeah.
it like in third grade. But I mean, I was never a fan of I was never a fan of like the 76ers. So like when I was a kid, I really liked the Golden State Warriors. I'll admit I'm a bandwagon, but I can say I was a fan of them before they won their first, like when they won their ring. So not,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I still support the Warriors now, but not as much as I do ever since I've moved to Detroit. Well, near Detroit, and being able to experience like the Pistons and being able to go to Pistons games, and I've been a big Pistons fan ever since. But like I never really knew who Joel Embiid was, but my dad convinced me that he was a really good player. And I believe when he first came back, like didn't the Sixers go on like a 15 game win streak or something crazy like that?
Yeah, it was definitely good. I'm
S
really just basing it off of what's going on now. He's definitely
yeah.
a great player overall.
All right.
So
Well, I
yes.
guess yeah, we're putting a lot of depth into these last couple picks recently. So we'll try to make it a bit shorter, and we'll go for Aaron Gordon. I'm gonna give
Mm-hmm.
him a B minus.
Gonna give him a nice B plus. Not much to say about him, but he's a great dunker. He's a good fit for Orlando, but he really isn't doing much to like lead wins and whatnot. He's only averaging 14 points this season, but he's definitely not an awful player. He's a highlight reel, and I think
Mm.
we've deserved the fourth spot. If anything, it's I don't think he was drafted too high or too low or anything like that. So
Yeah, the only
definitely just
person
an
I care about
average
on that
average
team is
player.
Markel Fultz. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really want to see Markel Fultz end up doing good, and he'll definitely be on this
Mm-hmm.
list later.
Yeah,
Um, but all right, so number five with the last pick is Dante Exum, and I'm going to give him a D to an F just because of the fact that I could not tell you a single accolade he has.
and I can tell you that he has zero accolades looking at it right now. He hasn't done a single thing besides switch his number from 11 to 1. Really, he's not. There's nothing special about this dude. Averaging 4 points and one rebound, one assist. Really doesn't. He's averaging 5 points his whole career. Dude really doesn't done much. Dante Exum. Don't hear about him much. It's a point guard, shooting guard, 6'5". Plays for the Cavaliers, right? He's played for the Jazz not too long ago, and really nothing about him. So, yeah, easy F for me.
Mm,
But I respect the D too if you're trying to be nice.
mm,
Hmm. And he did get drafted over Marcus Smart and Julius Randle, who are both respectively very good right now.
mm,
Especially that, especially I like what Marcus Smart's doing. Definitely getting better shooter, and he's a great defender. But that's about it for that for Dante, for
mm.
me. So,
All right, so we're gonna move on to 2015, and this is probably gonna be the last part of part one. And for part two, between the 2016 to 2019 NBA draft, instead
mm,
of going off of like career wise, we're going to be going off of talent right now and the amount of potential this
mm-hmm.
player has. Because like after this 2015 draft, like even still, like they're all like
Yeah,
still kind
it's
of
been
new.
really too soon to call him anything in
Yeah, but like
2015.
20, I'd say this is the last. 2015 is the last draft where we're gonna base it on career and skill right now instead
Yeah.
of career and potential.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with the number one pick, which has to be an easy A for me, honestly, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, easy F. You can talk about him, but
Well, there's really isn't much to say about him. He's been playing amazing. He's a good fit in Minnesota. And honestly, I'm so excited to see how he's gonna do with the number two pick, D'Angelo Russell.
mm, D'Angelo Russell, I'm gonna give him a nice A
Yeah.
because he
Oh,
was definitely a great player. He was an All Star last season. He's a nice point slash shooting guard. He's doing great, averaging 23 points this year, mainly because he played for the Warriors and he was their main scorer, besides like Eric Paschall and stuff. But I think he definitely is definitely a good player. So an easy A for me.
Mm-hmm.
For number three,
Number 3 is So I'm going to give him a C. Jahlil Okafor. He was drafted by the Sixers. He's now on the Pelicans. He's just too painfully average to put him either above a C or below a C.
yeah, he was actually not too bad coming in earlier in this season or in his career, but as of now, he's just really not that good. Even
Yeah.
at the start of the season, we were seeing flashes, but as of now, he's just not good. So I think C is a perfect grade for
Mm. So number 4, I'm
him.
going to give this person a B, even though they have made an All-Star game. Actually, I'll give him a B plus, and that's Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, Kristaps as of now doing pretty good for the Mavericks as Luka Doncic just sitting out with an ankle sprain injury. Um, he's averaging 18 points and 9 boards. He's definitely
Aki's got
a
the stats on
good,
lock.
yeah. He's definitely a good power forward and all that. So I think that really Kristaps just we haven't seen the full star that we wanted to, like what he really was expected to when he was originally drafted by the Knicks. But I think he's definitely deserved that spot that he got drafted at for the most part.
Mm. All right, so for the
Okay.
final pick in this
Okay.
video,
Yeah.
I'm going to give this player a D, and it is Mario Hezonja. He was drafted by the Magic. Literally, I can
Dunked
tell
on
you
Giannis.
what.
Or he
Yeah, that's
dunked
what
on
I'm saying.
Giannis.
Is that like for the year for his entire career with the Magic, he literally had I don't think a single highlight with them. But last year with the New York Knicks, he was actually doing fairly good with the Knicks last year. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen him do much this year, but he started on the Knicks. He did that dunk on Giannis, which not a lot of people are able to do. And I have
Yeah.
respect for Giannis that he actually took it instead of Joel Embiid.
So,
But he's only had like one notable season, so that's why I'm gonna give him a D.
yeah. And honestly, I hardly call that season notable. I don't just see people noticed him. Really, is all he was because he hasn't had a season where he's averaged over double digits. Like the 2017 to 18 season, he averaged 9.6 points, which was almost 10. But if we look at it to be exact, he hasn't done much. Like
Yeah,
even as a power forward, he's only actually getting 3 boards and has played a good amount of games this season. So I mean, we should be doing more for himself. And he has no accolades as well. So this dude, I give him an F, you give him a D, but it's not much of a difference. So,
yeah. To be honest, they're both
mm,
terrible ratings. All right,
mm,
so everyone, thank you guys so much for watching part two of this. I mean, part one of this video. I'm not exactly sure when part two will be up because I feel like this video might take me a pretty long time to edit, considering the fact it is very long, and it's not going to be like it feels like more of a podcast almost than like an
yeah,
actual video. So I might just post it as like a 40-minute long video that may not be that interesting. So if you somehow wanted to sit through the entire video and watch the entire thing, comment down bust in the comment section. And make sure to subscribe to Aki. His video will be most likely in the link in the description. And yeah, you guys all have a good day. You got anything else to say before I end the video?
we're just gonna do our best to make it entertaining. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you made it this far, of course, we all love you all. We officially Ghostly Gamer fan base stand strong. You know how it is. Thanks for watching, guys.
Haven't uploaded in a month and a half. Let's go. All right.